It's the journey, not the destination. You ever hear that saying? Well, simply stated, enjoy the road you're taking on the way to your goal. It makes sense, especially since the only thing you can really control is the journey, the steps that you take, because goals can be elusive. Let's be real though. Most people set goals and fail to even come close to them. Take a gym, for example. They love the January of every year as many make fitness goals and they head to the gym to reach them. After paying membership fees and going a few times, many start to fade away. Come the summertime, the only people still there are the committed and those that don't focus entirely on the goal. Flashing back to my younger years, I had a goal to reach certain weights in the powerlifting core lifts. Now, if that's where I stopped, I'd never have gotten them. I'm grateful to have been exposed to the book Mastery by George Leonard so many years ago because that has influenced everything that I have and still want to achieve. The goal was important, but what was also important was the way or the system that I would use to attain it. The goal zeroed in on the result, but I needed a way to get the result. So I started with schedules of when I would train. I worked out when and how much to increase the weight to continue progressing heavier. I factored in rest periods and weeks where I would back off on intensity. I ate differently on training days than I did on days that I would not train. The system was written down and followed. I have to admit that I did not meet a goal on one of the exercises, but that is not what was important. Now, I do have to say that when I thought of the goal by itself, I was disappointed in not achieving it. Looking at the plan I followed, I was extremely proud that I had stuck to each step that I laid out. I vastly improved from when I started to when I measured the one lift that never reached the target weight. As it turns out, the goal was not as important as the route that I took to achieve it. To be even more in depth, I started to forget the actual goal and I focused on the steps I was taking towards it. I focused on the training and the schedule, I focused on the eating, and I focused on the rest and the scaling up in weight. The goal by itself was meaningless if I didn't take steps towards it. Now, the outcome was always up in the air, but what wasn't was the system that I laid out to achieve what I set my sights on. So let's tie this into trading. I want to be a profitable trader. All right, that's a goal that is stated by 99% of those entering the trading world. Well, how will you do it? Most use the wash, rinse, repeat style of education where they hop from one trading system and method to another. The goal never changes, but the systems they're using does, and it usually just a dead-end road with most just giving up. It's a haphazard approach at best. Now, I'm not going to get into what makes up successful trading because on our website at netpicks.com, there's a ton of information to help you on that road. Take a piece of paper and write out on the top, I want to be a profitable trader. Now below that, start writing out what you think you must do to attain that. You could start with, number 1, spend 2 hours every day learning your trading method inside and out until you can rattle off 25 mistake-free executions. Number 2, learn and understand risk management and capital exposure so well that you could teach it. Number 3, read about successful traders and their thought process when it comes to trading. Now, there are others that you could list, but the point is to have concrete items that you can focus on. Focus on them with clarity and with quality execution. Be diligent. Trading is much more than just pushing buttons. It encompasses many variables, and one thing that gets overlooked by many is the mental approach to how you approach trading. And I think the book that I mentioned above can really help you out on your trading journey.